Hey everyone, and welcome back to our first little Christmas review of December. I'm your host as ever, Purple Midnight 8. First off, I apologise. I'm recovering from a brief spout of illness, which is why my voice is a bit fucked.
Every video, it's like,
It's just like, sorry, we are sick. Anyway, apologies for that if I sound a bit fucked today. I love how you're just like interrupting me saying shit so you can say stuff to me in real life, so thanks for that. Anyway, I'm your host as ever, Purple Midnight 8, joined once more by Amelia. Oh, shut up. You can't make that joke anymore because he is occasionally returning for one. I'm joined as ever by my wife Amelia, Petal ASMR, Falling Petals 111. I don't know why I said that. I'll never say that. Petal ASMR, the Obsidian Nook, all that good stuff. Today, of course, as mentioned, we are looking at our first Christmas film of the month. We're going to be doing your horrors, your fun films, not your fucking... it's Christmas, we got to get the Christmas spirit up for Santa Claus. We're not doing rom-coms, we're not doing shit like that, we're doing fun films. Fun films that you may have heard of, fun films you may not have heard of. Just that sort of thing. So, of course, we are looking at The Mean One, the film that came out last year, one of them low-budget, weird fucking films. It's not explicitly said in the film for the sake of copyright, but it's a parody of The Grinch. They never say The Grinch or anything like that. It's a lot of indirect references, and the character is very clearly The Grinch. And of course, The Mean One being a reference to the song that everyone knows, that I will not repeat. So, this is directed by Stephen Lamort, based on the screenplay by Flip and Finn Kobler. Never heard of these gentlemen, however, one of them is in the film for a short while. This film was very bizarre, but we had a lot of fun watching it. We got it on DVD for not too expensive, so we keep hold of that. But it's very weird. It's very campy, but it's clear everyone had fun with it. So we'll get into that a little bit. Anything you want to say before we kick things off? Any brief thoughts you want to say to begin with?
just that the actors took it too, but not the actual.
Oh yeah, like, I want to say first off, I will refer to The Mean One as The Grinch, because it's clearly who it is. But it's one of those films where, like with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, most of the cast took itself too seriously. Excuse me. So it's just a bit campy. It's campy because of David Howard Thornton, who plays the Grinch. But other than that, it does take itself a bit too seriously. But Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was an absolute travesty. We still need to cover that at some point. So, on Christmas Eve, Cindy You-Know-Who, not Cindy Lou Who, finds Santa ruining her Christmas downstairs. Cindy's mother attempted to fight Santa, however, when he retaliated, she was impaled through the neck on a toy, which killed her. Good opening start, good opening kill. It was brutal. Well, it wasn't brutal, it was effective. It was just a metal rod hanging out of her throat. Disgusting. Also, it's another of these films where it's clearly most of the budget went on to getting the kills and not like a plot. Pardon me. Cindy then called Santa a monster and grew to hate Christmas. 20 years later, Cindy, now played by Crystal Martin, returns to Newville, not Whoville, along with her father Lou, played by one of the film's writers, Flip Kobler, in order to get closure from her mother's death. They are pulled over by Deputy Burke, played by Chase Mullins, a newly transferred officer who tells them about the town's disliking of Christmas. That night they arrive at their old home, where Cindy has nightmares about a monster with green skin. The next day, Mayor McBean, played by one of the producers of the film, Amy Schumacher, is continuing her mayoral campaign and is disgusted at seeing Cindy at a diner. She's one of those who's just walking around continuously sticking stickers to people. It's a weird character trope that she has throughout the film. Burke arrives along with Sheriff Hooper, played by Eric Baker, who she recognises from the night of the murder. Lou comes in and isn't pleased with Hooper and the town's lack of Christmas spirit. Lou and Cindy decorate their home for the holidays with someone entering the house when Cindy takes out the trash and proceeds to lock her out. Lou is ambushed inside by the Green Man, being impaled through the head and disemboweled. Yummy.
I think this is the point where I said can move, like it can move so quickly.
Yeah, the Grinch has magical powers. But literally, he gets impaled through the eye and it gets stuck to it as it goes through the rest of his head. It's nasty. So Lou is ambushed inside and killed, yeah. Cindy wakes in hospital from a nightmare, but that kill is genuine. It wasn't really clarified. This is some time later. She's having recurring nightmares of his death. With Burke interviewing her for what she thinks she saw. McBean arrives and continues to parade her campaign around, reassuring Cindy that they are doing all they can before she is drugged by a nurse. McBean and Burke speak in private about the possibility of the killer being the same as the one from 20 years ago. And after Lou's funeral, Burke returns Cindy home where she tells him she's planning on leaving. McBean then visits Hooper, who's being frustrated about Cindy bringing up the past when she's trying to get the town to move on. Better, brighter future or some shit. She just says that a lot. Cindy is inexplicably left to clean up her father's blood, finding a single yellow flower. As I said when we were watching this, there are crime scene cleaners whose jobs are to clean up blood. You do not leave the victim's tormented family to mop up the blood stains on the ground.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, so they didn't come in and clean that then?
They got rid of the body, but they didn't bring any, like, crime scene cleaners in to use, like, I don't know what you would use to clean up blood, but it doesn't matter. Using the flower, she somehow finds the exact mountain it is from, very conveniently. All within a day. She has her father's funeral, cleans up the blood, finds the flower, and then goes to the mountain in the same day.
Oh,
No. Unlike her father. So yeah, she returns to the mountain it's from, being startled from someone she takes a picture of and falls into a hole. In a hole, she finds a wallet before climbing back out. She watches as the Green Man, who from now on I will refer to as the Grinch. The Green Man attacks a couple, revealing him to be the Grinch, as mentioned, played by David Howard Thornton. Best part of this film, most notably, is Art the Clown from the Terrifier series. Of course, also the best part of those films. It's just campy, he has a lot of fun with it, and it's good to see. It's good to see someone reveling in their art. Get it? Anyway, after scaring him away, she rushes over, finding that the woman is still alive, but her partner was killed. Emergency services try to get her to describe the killer, who pulls her away where she shows him a picture of the Grinch. It's a blurry one that looks like Bigfoot. Hooper orders her to stop talking about monsters, so she passes the wallet she found to Burke. Burke finds that the wallet's owner has been missing since 2009, and elsewhere we see a group of drunken Santas go to a bar. The Grinch enters and kills one of them off-screen before locking the waitress in the freezer. And somehow she gets out on her own. The Grinch then turns his attention to the rest of the partygoers, slaughtering them all, mostly with claw slashes. However, we do have to talk about a couple of them. We get a couple of standout ones, which include putting her into a mincer.
that was for a film that wasn't massive. The gore in this was like, ew.
It was nasty. Like I said at the top, most of the budget seems to have gone on the gore and the practical, like, disgustingness. It's not nice. So yeah. And he also stomps one of their heads in. He literally just jumps on her head and just... It's nasty, it's practical, it's beautiful. At home, Cindy hears the reports of the murder on the news before the power quickly goes out. The Grinch briefly stalks around outside before attempting to enter, however Cindy stops him and locks him out. A different man, played by John Bigham, enters and Cindy attacks him, but he talks her down and they go for a drink. He does have a name, and I will explain the stupidity of it later. The man has a surprising amount of knowledge about the Grinch and her parents' murders. The man tells her that the town doesn't celebrate over fear of the Grinch killing everyone. Hence why he's only attacking people who put Christmas decorations up or plays Christmas music. The man tells her about the time when his wife was attacked and killed by the Grinch when attempting to deliver presents, splitting her in half. I will say, because I was pointing out when we were watching it, that most of this place is clearly shot not during the winter. Because there's a lot of, especially this like flashback where she's wearing like a winter coat but everything's like clearly sunny and they've put like a filter over it. But I think for the most part the town was at least shot in somewhere like known for having colder temperatures. So snow isn't like unheard of. She goes to Hooper and he once more refuses to listen, calling the man known as Doc crazy. That's a little hint for his full name there. Burke agrees to go and help and goes out to the mountain where he enters a cave, finding more wallets as well as a mangled up corpse. When a toy plays a Christmas song, Burke is forced to hide as the Grinch returns with a dead Santa from the diner. Burke hides under a cloth as the Grinch stomps the toy into silence before dragging the Santa away. And outside of the cave he finds Doc, who gives his full name as Matthias Zeus. Get it? Everyone calls him Doc, and his last name is Zeus. Dr. Zeus. It's very funny, guys. Who also shows that he is armed to the teeth. Doc tells Burke to return home and not to celebrate Christmas if he wants to see the new year. Burke goes to Cindy's that night and says that he believes her about the Grinch. Cindy goes for a shower and is joined by Burke, but the Grinch arrives and kills him. But she wakes from the nightmare, of course. Promising to kill the Grinch. Cindy trains for her fight and buys supplies to the shock and confusion of Burke. Doc drinks alone and gets into his truck before Hoover stops him from leaving. And at a restaurant, the owner opens a delivery, finding Christmas decorations before someone enters. The owner is, of course, attacked and hacked to death with a cleaver to the head by the Grinch. Lovely practical death there of a cleaver being, like, buried in the cunt's skull. Sorry, that's the first time I've dropped the C word in this review so far. Yeah, apologies. I'm ill and I'm not so, what's the word? Censored. So yeah, he dies from a cleaver to the head, who continues to dismember him and package his parts back into the box. He takes Doc to the drunk tank for the night before going to visit McBean, who is leaving town for the holidays. So she says. It's more likely she's doing a runner. Hooper and McBean argue about the Grinch before she storms away. Burke visits Cindy in order to tell her about what he found, which is that they went hiking. Is that the wallet owners went hiking over Christmas, with the Grinch very badly appearing in each of the photos. Very obviously photoshopped in quite badly. Also doing like peace signs and stuff, which is fucking bizarre, but I know it's just to be like, he's silly. Just gonna have a sip of my coffee. Good sip. The website used for the mountain is, of course, run by McBean, who was luring people to their deaths. The two go up to Cindy's attic, finding her battle plans and weapons, so Burke confronts her for wanting to kill the Grinch. Cindy asks for help, but Burke refuses, saying that she'll become just like him. McBean's car breaks down as she is fleeing, of course, accidentally and conveniently playing Christmas music as she is alone in the woods. She tries to repair her car, but the Grinch attacks and kills her by slamming her head repeatedly with the boot of the car until she is decapitated. That was karma. Funny. I am funny. Burke confronts Hooper about the website, and Hooper tells him of a time when he found a girl who had her eyes replaced by bows. I don't know how this worked. this like kill. I don't know if it was meant to be that her eyes were plucked out and they just stuck the bows to her eye sockets, or if they were trying to suggest that her eyes had been replaced by the bows. So like literally they were inside her like sockets. I don't know. So yeah, she had her eyes replaced by bows and was mauled to death in front of him. Hooper then sacrificed the hikers alongside McBean, seeing it as him protecting the town at the cost of outsiders. Yeah, big hero speech, but like me doing the right thing. Burke leaves to help Cindy, and Doc tries to persuade Hooper to join him. However, he leaves him with the cell keys. Doc goes to Cindy's and caught in a trap, telling her that Burke is going to the mountains before she cuts him down. Burke continues his search, singing Jingle Bells badly and a Jewish song, which alerts the Grinch. The Grinch is not a fan of the Jews, apparently. Because he didn't respond to Jingle Bells, but as soon as he started singing Dreidel, 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 yeah, he wasn't happy. Burke gets his leg caught in a bear trap, dropping his gun as the Grinch appears. Hooper arrives, however, and fights him off, rescuing Burke from the trap, and goes to fight the Grinch without him. Bad idea. Cindy and Doc save Burke as Hooper hunts the Grinch, but he is mauled and killed off-screen, with only his arm being found. Oh, Stazzy's here. You alright, Stazzy? I'm sorry we started reviewing it without you. We know you watch this with us. Cindy blames herself for what happened, and she decides that she needs to be the one to end the Grinch once and for all. She returns home and lights her house up as the Grinch devours Hooper's body. The Grinch approaches the house as Cindy sleeps, entering through the chimney, but Cindy wakes up and kicks him into a window where Doc shoots him. Cindy then pulls out a candy cane painted shotgun, which I immediately was like, if they do not put this in the Call of Duty Christmas event, I will not be happy. But the Grinch vanishes. Yeah, he seemingly can teleport for whatever reason. The Grinch appears in front of Doc and attacks him, but Cindy appears and saves him, but he tells her to retreat back inside. You were about to say something, I saw you take a breath.
No, you really did like that gun.
I did.
I know it was impressive, because that looked like the actual, like, the actual gun.
They probably did.
It didn't look tacky.
No, it did seem, like, well made. So a fight then ensues between the Grinch and Cindy, with Doc incapacitating him with Christmas music, and Cindy using a Christmas tree to blow him up. Cindy is unable to stab the Grinch to death, realising he is still wearing the necklace she gave him. Realising it's her fault, she called him a monster after he accidentally killed her mother. Yes, it was revealed to be an accident. She kisses him on the cheek in forgiveness. In a confusing moment, you weren't sure what was on about. As a result, his heart grows 3 sizes and explodes, which kills him. You were very confused by this, but the narrator does say how his heart grew too big and exploded from forgiveness, because he's obviously a creature of hatred and just horribleness. He's a mean one. He's the mean one, anyway. The Grinch was reported over the internet as a big new trend for people to search for him. Stock footage plays, in the weirdest fucking use of it. It's generic footage of people, like, rushing over to... It was obviously fake. No. It's the sort of stock footage where it's people running over to the tree, gifting each other presents and opening them. It's the shit you would find in a terrible, like, TV advert for, like, a jewellery shop or something. I won't name and shame anyone. Just in case they, for whatever reason, they might sponsor us. The narrator reports the town returning to its festive traditions. Burke and Cindy go to a celebration where they reunite with Doc before sharing a kiss under the mistletoe. The narrator tells the audience of how a threat will return the next year as the film ends. Like I said to you, it would be cool if they linked it with Terrifier 3, which is a Christmas slasher coming out in October of this year. To call it that, a Christmas slasher. Which is a weird genre that only keeps getting bigger. Oh, excuse me. I'm terribly unwell. but I had my voice back, and I was just like, "Fuck it, we're gonna do it." So yeah, that was the mean one. Do you want to give any thoughts?
I don't know what the fuck that was. Like all that stuff really just, I don't know.
It was very campy, it was very silly, but it was still enjoyable, and we will be keeping it because it's a very specific thing to have Christmas horror movies. We don't have enough of them, so I thought, fuck it, we can watch it for a laugh, at the very least. But we thought we would definitely review it because of how fucking strange it was. But yeah, overall, realistically, it was pretty bad. It was cheap, it was silly, it was taking itself way too seriously, minus the Grinch himself. But that's what you get when you get David Howard Thornton to play your villain. But other than that, it's just weird and a bit shit. There wasn't much plot, it was a bit fucking, it was just strange. But it was enjoyable in that way. It was a so bad it's good sort of thing. It's not saying.
That you lot
Well, you had to go and spoil one of our other reviews that will be coming out this month. Yes, we will be covering Violent Night, the David Harbour Santa Claus, over the course of, well, Christmas is 10 days away, so...
Maybe you want one from last year then?
Oh yeah, we got Santa Sleigh on the channel. This was one of our very first reviews, so apologies on that. We are now like 69 in, I think.
We're professionals now.
Yeah, boy. Anyway, go give something else a watch. Let it overtake. Well, let another film take over Black Adam, please, I swear. Also, if you're interested, I thought I'd plug it now. You can go and watch my games reviews as well. There's only 2 of them at the time of recording this. But I've got some more on the way that you may be interested in. That I will also be recording today. But anyway, how could we forget? Best Kill, Worst Kill. Can we review an advert? I ain't doing it for free. If they want to sponsor us to do it, then yeah. Anyway, Best Kill, Worst Kill. I think the Best Kill can easily go to the Mincer. That was grim. And now there's plenty of contenders for the worst kills of the film. I was initially going to give it to the Santa who died and got locked in the freezer, or either the mangled up corpse that was left in the cave, or the Santa that gets dragged in. However, I would give it to literally any of the hikers who died off screen.
Yeah, but I was going to say, you know that...
Sheriff, who's a knobhead.
I did that.
Yeah, he died off screen for the most part as well. The worst kill can go to the hikers, but if you want a named character, it can go to Hoover for having an off-screen kill despite being a knobhead. So anyway, thank you ever so much for listening. We're going to wrap it up here now before my voice gives up. I've been your host as ever, Peppermint8, joined once more by my wife, my darling wife, Amelia, Petal SMR, the Obsidian Nook, all that good stuff. You can find her link in the link tree in the description below, alongside all of mine and Morgan's as well. And in the meantime, we'll see you soon.